Welcome back to Informal Gangsters.
What happened?
This is the New Year's edition. Hopefully, it comes out before New Year's or on New Year's. We'll see if the editing gets done. Shit, I don't know. But I want to introduce our guest. But first, I keep forgetting to mention this, so I got to mention it. Is that we actually have this podcast available on all streaming services now: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all the big things. So wherever you want to listen to it, where you listen to your favorite podcasts, we're available everywhere now. As you can see, we got a new studio set up. Yeah. I was able to find all these in the junkyard, so it's very cheap. It works out, but don't tell it to the guests because you might be sitting on some nasty shit. Nah, I'm kidding. But I want to introduce my guests. On the left here, we got another OG, part of the family.
What's up, people?
He's
Alfonso
my brother.
Here.
Yeah.
I'm the cool one of the family.
The cool one. Okay, you could say that with that haircut.
Yeah, you can say that with that haircut.
I'll give you that gangster G. And then to our right here is this lovely lady. You want to introduce yourself?
Andrea.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for
really
coming.
exciting.
I didn't know you guys were gonna make or want to be part of it because if you guys don't know, you guys should follow them. They're really famous and they're really important people. So
Whatever.
I
We're
feel-
the ones following your podcast. Right? All like in the car on the way here. We're like, do you think he'll invite us?
Oh yes.
What
But
do you
thank
think we're
you.
gonna talk about?
That's
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Thanks for
glad
having
you guys
us.
were able to have it. Let's start it off since it's New Year's with a cheers.
Yeah.
New
So-
Year.
Cheers.
New Year,
Happy New
guys.
Year. Happy
New
holidays.
Year's. Yeah, take a drink. By the way, guys, what's in here is very potent. Tastes like A1 sauce, kind of. That is powerful.
Mostly
Woo.
fire.
Yeah,
Mostly
definitely.
fire.
Definitely burning all the way. Hey, speaking of the New Year, I did want to talk about this. Do you guys have any New Year's resolutions? Anything planned yet?
Not planned.
Fontos, I know yours.
What?
Let your hair grow.
They have a haircut.
Stop getting bad haircuts.
Oh,
It's like
God.
3 in a row, man.
Guys,
Dude,
this haircut was
honestly-
unintentional, by the way, people. I just went to a haircut and this is how it came out. Normally I get a little trim. I
What
have
did
it a
you
little bit
tell
longer.
them? Did you
I
say
tell them
like
what I tell all the
make
all
me
the
look
people.
ugly? What
Make
if?
me-
I'm
You
just
did.
kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
I was
No,
like,
he
look,
just-
I
he
wanna
told
look
them
like
he
this
was
homie.
blind
I'm
and that
just
it
kidding.
didn't matter.
Damn, did you go to a blind guy?
Yeah.
Like, is this,
No, man, I don't know. I told them the same thing I tell everyone, and this
Yeah.
is how I came out. And I was like, all right, I'm very accepting of things, so I just kind of took it all in and
You're like
moved
just
on.
No tip.
You get
Nah,
no tip. Yeah, I was
there-
pretty mad, but whatever.
It sucks, man. It's
It is what it
okay.
is.
But that, you know what? That's what I also noticed, or like once I found a barber, because I used to always jump around, and it was because like I always got bad haircuts. Like every time I've done sports clips, the one at Walmart, the like all kinds of one, but I never went to the same one because I never liked my haircut.
Yeah.
But now that like this guy that I have, by the way, shout out to you, Abel. I'll put your Instagram name here. But shout out to him, man. I like the way he cuts my hair, so like I've literally been going to him all the time.
You have
That's
to.
awesome, man.
You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
like find someone that like you build trust with.
Yeah.
Because then you can also take risk every now and then. You're like, I kind of want something different, but not too crazy. And
Yeah, exactly.
they know your limitations.
True.
Like,
And
I've been
is it
going to the
different for
same
yours?
person.
You get
Oh, it took me probably 6 months of stalking Austin's local Instagram to find the girl that I still go to.
Did you
5
just read
years later, I'm
comments?
still there. I do videos, comments, whatever they're posting. If
Yeah.
you find a hairdresser that doesn't have an Instagram, can't trust it.
yeah.
I'm like,
I'd be like, you're starting.
your stuff should be out there. Like you should be promoting it. So it takes a while, but yeah,
But you
no,
get it.
I've only really been to like 4 hairdressers my entire life.
4.
Yeah,
Damn,
like
they
once
must have
you
all
find
been
them,
good.
you like
Right?
keep
Yeah,
them
you're
forever.
right.
Like there was a guy in Houston, my sister and I went to him for 8 years probably.
Dang.
Yeah, he
and
saw
this
us
a
grow
guy.
up. Yeah, he
That's
was great.
gangsta.
Really, really good. But in Austin, the girl I go to is awesome. She's been so great. She's done all my big chops.
Shout her out. What's her at?
Thea, I'll put
Yeah.
her Instagram.
Okay,
But,
yeah,
yeah,
we'll put it-
she's
we'll
cool.
put it
She
up here.
just broke out on her own, so it's
Sweet.
really good.
Hell yeah.
Excited for her, but
Congrats.
yeah, it's she's done all my big chops.
Sweet.
I
Dude,
trust
do you
her.
think that guy got jealous and maybe just cut your hair? Like, were you
don't know, man.
specific?
I-
Were you specific?
I
Like,
was
I want
specific.
ones, twos.
Yeah.
I know there's numbers.
Normally I
but-
go.
There's
Normally I
numbers.
go. Hey, I want a 2 on the sides, 3 on the
3 on the
top.
top.
It's gonna be longer. taper in the back, and like sharp sideburns. Or
Maybe you reminded
pointy.
him of like his ex's ex or something, you
Maybe.
know,
I don't
or his
know. I thought
girlfriend's
about
ex or
it.
something. He's all fuck you
He's
three.
like, this is for
I thought about
you.
our interaction, and I was like, I wonder if I like unintentionally offended him without like me knowing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That is
I
weird.
don't know, like
I mean,
But he did not.
you know,
I mean, your
happens.
hair doesn't look bad, you know. But it's just not the normal
it's just
cut
not
you
what I
get.
wanted.
it's just like
Yeah.
a one
But it's all right.
all
Yeah,
around,
lover.
basically.
Yeah, I was like 2? Oh, 0? Okay.
Yeah, for
Oh,
real.
no.
Oh,
That
just shaved
sucks.
my
Oh
head.
wait, we got sidetracked. The question was,
What are
New
we
Year's
gonna do?
yeah,
with
do you
New
guys
Year's?
have a New Year's resolution?
I don't know. I don't really do New Year's resolutions, but I do always have like new goals. But I just kind of do that like I would say like on a quarterly basis.
Oh shit, that's why you're so successful.
uh,
Quarterly?
that's so
No,
funny.
but,
That
like,
sounds
it just-
business and
My
shit.
sister and I just talked about like goal setting and how important it is. She's never really done it, and I'm like, I guess
Right.
it's a little bit forced on my end from work, but it does make you think about things.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
every 90 days, like I can't really do like 6+ month goal setting. It really is hard for me to like
Yeah.
stay that focused. I'm like 90 days or less. I love a 30-day
That's
goal.
like 3 months then? Yeah.
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
not
sometimes
bad.
like I don't hit the goals every time, but I can at least like strive for it the
Yeah.
next quarter. You
Like
know?
if you set a year-long goal and you get to like month 10 and you're like not hitting it, like I feel like I would just shit on myself
You're
for
like,
like months later. I'd be like,
"Fuck."
that's horrible. I wasted all the
Oh.
time, you know? So like you break it up in like 30,
Sections.
90 days and you'll build it. You'll get there.
There was
That's
also we were doing a like a purge. We were cleaning out like our closet, and I
Ooh.
found we're shredding all these papers, and I found this I guess
Papers,
this-
you tree killers. You
Don't even get me
freaking-
started
Who has a
on
printer?
papers, dude.
I do, man.
Fontos is
That's
like
what school
a
does
tree
to you, man.
collector.
But, like,
Fonto's got 4 trees that aren't even trees. They're just
Dude,
stacks of paper. in the
Organizing
house.
that closet, like
No, but
honestly, crazy.
So we were going through papers, and I found
Yeah.
I guess an old journal that had torn up pages, and one of them was a list of I guess goals I've had,
Yeah.
and all the goals I listed except for like 2 were done.
Mhm.
That was pretty
What?
cool.
I was like,
that was
hell
actually super
yeah,
cool.
That
That's
was really
dope.
cool. I was like,
That was
wow,
really
like,
It's
awesome.
got a great feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And even though I didn't finish the like other 3, like I was still.
Did
I
you
was
had you
okay.
written them down or like printed it?
No, I
it was
wrote it
written
down.
That's
And then
dope.
handwritten
I wish
note.
I wrote the date on it, so
I know
so
it was
how
when we
long
were
it
in the
wa-
first
how long
apartment.
ago it was.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, because one of your goals was about Apple, so we were in the first apartment.
Oh yeah,
So it was
Oh,
5
like,
years ago.
I had
Nice.
the house, Apple, car, like it was all material stuff, but
Yeah.
like it made me
You're
re-
fucking.
Hey,
What,
well, I
what do
didn't
you call
know.
people that are? I don't know. Fuck it.
Materialistic.
Anyways.
Materialistic.
No,
Yeah.
but I also
Joke fast.
when I found that too, it also made me realize like, wow, if I'm asking for a bunch of material stuff and I'm like achieving it, like what else could I do if it wasn't material, like
Yeah.
things that are intangible.
Like get a
Um,
good haircut. No, I'm just kidding.
This motherfucker. I'm about to
I'm
pull my
kidding.
strap out.
You just pop your neck. I was like, Jesus, did I make you that
pretended to throw
mad?
my hair
dog?
to the
He's all,
side.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna get my ass
If I
kicked
had
after
hair
this,
right now,
guys.
I'd
These are
be
jokes,
flipping it to the
Fontos.
left.
They're jokes.
Yeah,
Don't
just
hurt
kidding.
me.
So you,
No, but that's
do you
cool.
have short-term goals then for your New Year's
Oh
resolution
yeah, New Year's.
kind of thing?
So
You got-
you're
do you have, like,
what are you
a-
guys' 3?
Yeah, what's
Because
your
honestly, I felt like New Year's resolutions are kind of like BS. Like I agree. Like sometimes it's good to have a start, you know. But I feel like if you're not doing it now, then like what really makes you think you're doing it on the first?
that really
Yeah.
hungover day? You're
Yeah.
like, I'm
Right
gonna
after
do it
you
today.
party.
It's actually and usually New Year's you're done for like a week.
Yeah.
You're like your liver hurts.
like I need 3
Yeah,
days
It's
but-
a
off.
tough night.
Well, also my thing too is that I don't really like sharing my goals because there's a lot of like just asshole people out there that like to you
Shit
know,
on the
crap on
that's
your
true.
on your ambitions and
Yeah.
but I guess one that I don't mind sharing would be I'm gonna try to reach a weight goal, get a little
Oh,
bit bigger,
yeah.
you know, put some
Damn,
muscle.
you
in
gonna
it.
get bigger?
put my
Spin
practice
some?
into play. And now that I did all
Hell
my
yeah.
studying, might as well.
That'd be
Yeah,
dope. That's a
so-
good one.
Big asterisk for me because I'm gonna have to cook twice as much now.
Oh shit.
He's gonna be like, I need extra protein. I'll be like, vegetables?
Just throw beans,
Just more
beans.
and more
Beans and rice.
More
Yeah,
beans,
sounds
more
like a
rice.
lot more dishes to me, but all right.
You're all shit.
But,
To
yeah.
go burritos.
What about
Yeah.
you, Andrew? Any
Me, like I said, I don't know. Like I'm kind of like you guys, but I think I should probably start writing them down. But I don't like to kill trees. You know, I'm very.
You
I
can
mean,
Nah,
do
I'm
it
just kidding.
digitally.
iPhone
I
or
do it
iPad.
digitally.
No, I'm
Computer.
kidding. Well, I used to do that, but like instead of like you remember how you said you found the paper, it was fucking badass. I computed them all.
Yeah.
I'll be like write them on my notes, and then 6 months later, I'm like I didn't do any
Yeah.
of these.
Oh, no.
Because you don't go back and see
No,
them.
I'm kidding. But yeah, it's sometimes you hit them, you don't.
Yeah.
It's just the way
you
it
don't.
is. But I think something. I think writing it down, because I do write stuff down, but like I write a lot of like comedy stuff that I think is funny or ideas, and I think that's it's the first step into manifesting, because like literally in your head it's literally just an idea or it's a thought that it's not even real. But to make it real or to start it is you literally write it down. You made it
Yeah.
a real
It's like
definitely.
thing.
manifesting stage
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
Or,
Yeah. So I do think writing shit or stuff down is important, but I normally don't write my goals down. Honestly, they're just like
Oh,
in
you
my
should.
head.
You totally should.
I
Yeah.
should.
I do like. I'm not a paper person. Like I'm trying to throw like half the house out. Like, I'm always like trying to throw. I'm like, are you sure you need this?
Like,
Like,
alright, you can
should
take a
we-
picture of it.
I know. I'm like even like little things where it's like sentimental. I guess. I'm
Yeah.
like, but do you really like?
Really?
Just toss that.
It was a note I wrote 3 years ago. I don't care.
Yeah.
You can throw it away. It's
We'll
okay.
keep all the love notes.
Okay.
But outside of that, I'm like,
Yeah.
do you need it? But digital stuff, I think, really works.
Yeah.
There's tons of programs. I feel like I've tried them all. I actually made things really simple like 3 years ago, and I just use OneNote on my computer.
Dude, OneNote's the
And
shit.
it's so awesome. I was talking to my sister about this. I scrolled through mine. I have stuff from 3 years ago. I was like, oh my God, this
Still
is
there.
crazy. Like how different it is now. But
It is.
I think that's like, it's so good for reflection
True.
to be able to recall something. I think it's like the same thing. There's this like trend on Instagram right now with everyone's like go through your photos and it's like pick a date or whatever and like share like the photo. And it's like
Yeah.
it's exactly like how goal setting is. Like just
I
go
guess
back a
that's
few
true.
years and look at what you set and it's like, did I hit it? And if not, like why? What changed? Why did
Yeah.
it change?
And then digital notes will be like past thoughts that you could go back to. Because like photos would be like, I remember that day.
That moment.
But you don't remember
yeah.
what you were thinking, Because sometimes like it might have been a shitty day, but like that picture was cool. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it was
exactly.
a good little moment, but maybe thoughts, the goals, when you write them down, it'll be like, oh, that's where I was mentally, which is kind of crazy to go
Yeah.
back to.
Yeah, and it's different for everyone too. Like I tried doing the online like digital version,
Hmm.
and I just didn't like you. I just never went back to. I never
Yeah.
looked at it again, and I don't know. I enjoy writing more.
Yeah.
It's not as personal too.
Alfonso's
Yeah.
looks
It's just
right.
like
It's good though. It's like
that.
you have to just like the medium in which you track your goals has to like work for you.
True.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like you have to like probably try a few before you figure out which one's like, okay, this is the one I'm going to stick to, and I just have to do it every time.
Yeah.
And
Or
just,
sometimes like I would like write lyrics. Well, I'll do it on my phone, like because I used to like freestyle and like I'm like that's a good line. I'll write it and then I'll go back a couple of weeks ago and I'll reread them. I'm like, who the fuck wrote that? Did
This was
someone
not
take
me.
my
There's
phone?
no-
That was really
Who
gay.
stole my
I
phone?
stuck something.
Like it sounded
really hard.
good in the moment, but
Yeah,
then you
and I
go
was like,
back and reflect. Like
How many drinks I had when
What
I wrote
state
that?
of mind was that? It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's
That's funny.
different time. Do you
So
think
you
people?
don't have for sure no goals for next year yet.
Oh yeah. Going back to that. Damn, I keep
Don't
getting
worry.
sidetracked.
I'm good at
Good
that.
job. Thanks. I appreciate that.
It's my job.
Any honestly goals right now is just growing the podcast. I think that's one of my biggest things right now is just trying to make this lucrative. I think
Yeah.
that'd be cool to like just like I don't know, making money off talking. That's pretty cool. And like kind of like my dream. If you guys don't know, was to become a comedian, But like right now, that feels like it's been on hold because of all COVID, like all the clubs and comedy. Like even when I used to do open mics, like
Yeah.
all that is closed. I can't even go practice that.
That's
So that's why.
wild.
But it's kind of cool though because we had always talked about doing a podcast.
you needed that push.
And they
Y'all
kind of
have been
pushed
talking
us.
about this since I met y'all.
It's interesting you
Yeah,
say that
yeah.
too
That's
because
crazy.
there's a lot of people going through that where they're like, I've been needing to do A, Y, and Z, and like even though COVID has been really bad, it pushed a lot of people to do what they've been wanting to do.
Yeah, for
Renovate,
sure.
Yeah.
restaurants,
Work
out, start
so
the
much
podcast,
workout
just
stuff. So proud
Yeah.
of people.
I know.
Good.
Proud of myself, dude. Though. Because also though, I think I needed that because before I would be going to the clubs and like although it's like doing stand up, you'd get like 3 minutes for that night,
right.
and then the rest of the night was just drinking. So that's where my money was going. That's why I never started the podcast because I didn't.
That's
Not that
true.
I didn't, but I wasn't saving that money. And then when COVID started, I kind of was like, well,
like, what
I
do with all
can't
this?
waste all that money at or invest or whatever it's called
Yeah.
and buying alcohol. I just was like, well, I might as well get the mics and do it because this is kind of a form I feel like of stand up because
Oh yeah.
we're at least practicing the jokes or like a
Yeah.
joke will come to us when we're talking. It's kind of and it's just like I don't know. It's fun for me. I get to drink and hang out with people I love anyway, so it's
I think
cool.
it's really
Yeah, I think it's
cool.
cool,
It's
too.
awesome to see y'all get to this point because I feel like it was a casual, definitely when we were all drinking, conversation. It was like, yeah, it'd be so cool if we had a podcast. But like no one ever did anything about
They're
it.
just like, yeah.
dude,
And
we
now
did it.
it's like totally different.
manifesting now.
It's really
Totally
cool too.
different
I don't
thing.
think I shared this with you, Andrew. But I think it's really cool seeing you guys do the podcast, just because since I'm not around, that's like my way of being around. Even though like
Oh, you get to be
Engaging.
part of
It's
the
yeah,
super
because I get to
conversation.
engaging,
see yeah. So
Do you need a
I think this is
tissue?
I think everyone's been asking, when are you coming back, Fonso? Ah, just kidding. That's cool, man. I'm so excited for the future.
yeah, I can't wait to
Yeah,
see
I
what
mean, if this is the
unfolds.
start, it's awesome.
And even even just a new year, bro. Like 2020 was pretty tough. I think
Yeah.
everyone could agree.
not
It's
agree
been
more.
different.
Yeah.
But now for 2021, like I don't know what is it. We're gonna be more limitations, less. Hopefully, we're gonna go back. I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
see.
But just like everything, man, it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be fun.
Just do what you can.
So
yeah.
far, I
Yeah.
mean, it hasn't been too bad. So let's see. Hey, speaking of that too, with the whole thing, what do you guys think about getting $600? Do you think we deserve more, or you deserve more? I think personally, I deserve more, bro. They've taken more out of my taxes, and then they wanna. If you look, where we were talking about this earlier, and I hate getting political, but we're getting political. But yeah, man, like they take out more out taxes, and they want to invest that money in other countries, and in a state of emergency that I feel that we are as a country. When it's like, dude, you should probably invest it in your own people, because to me that sounds like they're just drowning us. They're like taking the money out. They're like,
Yeah,
oh,
literally.
the ship is sinking. Let's go. And they're like fucking dumping the money
Vibes.
somewhere else. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's a
damn,
good way
man.
to put it.
So like, I'm glad if we do get the $600. Like, thank you. Like, I did need that, but at the same time, I'm kind of upset because I'm like, again, I think we deserve more. Like you've taken way more out of my check for sure. Every
Yeah.
check, I'm like,
I don't know. I think the way I think about it is just that it's kind of out of our hands. Just because, like, I know we can like go protest and like do our due diligence in that sense, but
mhm,
at the end of the day, it's gonna be with people in power that are going to control that.
yeah,
And I try to just not necessarily accept it, but like if I'm really frustrated about it, then I would expect myself to do something about it. And
like
it could be
become a
anything.
politician, or what do you
Yeah,
mean?
or yeah, it could be anything. It could be any way I manifest it. It could be like starting a petition and wherever that goes, or it could be protesting, going to
Yeah,
Washington,
Yeah.
or um, but I don't know.
I agree
I
with
feel like
that,
there's
dude.
also a lot of things that we don't know in politics. Like none of us are in politics, so like we really don't know.
Oh, you're not. Oh, well, I am a senator.
No, but
No,
I
just
think
But
that's
kidding.
it's
a, that's
true,
a
like-
really good point. I mean, for me,
So
I
we
feel
don't
like
know.
Mhm.
they're like, to your point, like I can't directly affect this today. I was like, but what I can do is try and make sure that the people I do employ are paid fairly
Yeah,
and get the raises they deserve for the work that they're doing.
true.
Like, I feel like that's something that I can
You could
control.
actually do, yeah.
And that, like, hey, I can't help everybody, but everyone that I can help, that I have reach for, that I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that they're compensated for the work that they're doing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And all I could do is talk about it, hopefully on someone's podcast, and
Yeah.
maybe start a conversation.
Yeah,
right?
no, I
Yeah,
think
and
it's
that's how it
important.
begins.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of, like, if you think about it, like, your employers are also contributing back to these things
Mhm.
and paying for that to a degree.
Yeah,
And so it also just puts it into perspective. Like, who am I working for?
yeah, and our
Like, where
yeah,
does that
Like, do
come
I wanna
from?
work
Like,
for
who am I
them?
trying to work for?
yeah.
Like,
Going back to goals, maybe,
yeah.
maybe,
But
yeah,
to your point, like, I do think a lot of people are very deserving. I think there's a lot of, like, manipulation around this whole thing. And,
yeah,
as everybody knows, there's loopholes for just about every single thing.
yeah.
And so while there's a percentage that definitely deserve it and earned it,
Yeah.
got a lot of people milking the system.
Dude, did you guys ever hear about
So
this?
It's
like
a balancing act.
It
on
really
what you
is.
get.
It's like juggling, kind of like you're hoping this doesn't
I do
fall.
not envy decision making in the government at all. I'm like, it's hard enough at my level. I'm like, I can't even imagine. Like, y'all.
How many people you'll piss off just
Yeah.
for one thing?
You say the wrong thing that you didn't even like intend to say, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
get
Isn't that
blacklisted
crazy?
or
Or
whatever.
it could be
happens.
even like your death. Like, not to be like connected, but like Ozark. Have you guys seen that?
No, I've never watched the
It's
show.
like,
Well,
I've
it's
heard
like,
such good things about it.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
So they just to like break it down in simple forms, it's like it's about drug launderers, but they get to a point where they're messing with politics, and it's just like the politics are messing with the drug lords, but it's politics either way, because
Yeah.
they're like, hey man, I'll pay you, but they're like, bro, I'm getting paid over here,
Yeah.
and
like,
this
it doesn't
other gang
matter.
is like taking care of, like, I'm good, or they're like trying to sway law to go a certain way to allow them to build this casino, which will allow them to pass
launder
a
the
bunch more
Oh my
money.
gosh.
And
yeah.
so, but it's
Sounds
just
about right.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds
crazy
right.
because you, even when you're in that level, you're just dealing with not even people with that are smarter than you, just got more guns than you, you know? So it's like, you either pass this or you can get shot tomorrow. Like,
Jeez.
and you're like,
Like, who do you
damn.
want to die first? Your
It's
family, like
aggressive.
your friends.
It's an aggressive
That just-
life.
It is an aggressive life.
But yeah, like I think like, imagine how hard that is. Like that person has to go home at night and like deal with or like accept the decisions they made that day on behalf of like millions of people,
Damn, that would be tough. That is
cities, states, country. Like
tough.
it's a
Ooh,
really
and then you
large amount
just
of
you wake up to
responsibility.
all these articles like you piece of shit.
Yeah,
How
like
dare ya."
hateful tweets, like,
Like, wow, I didn't want this. I'm trying to help you people.
and it's like the one positive one. You're like, haha.
Thank you. Like, retweet.
Yes.
It's like high school drama, but this is just real life.
But times 1
Tenfold.
million.
Jesus, yeah. Instead of getting your ass kicked by one jock, it's
yeah.
all the jocks all whooping your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Seriously.
so I had found this, although we're doing this for the New Year's thing. I had found this article. It's the map, supposedly, but we're also talking about this is kind of bullshit. But because the article we found is in Delish, and this map shows the most popular Christmas movie in every state. I want to talk about it because I mean Christmas is around the corner, or was around the corner by the time this comes out. So-
I'm not done watching Christmas movies.
Yeah, when do
So-
you usually stop your Christmas stuff? On the
If
first?
if I was in control of the Netflix movie pick every night, there would be like 4 nights a week of Christmas movies.
4 nights? Damn, there is that many.
But due to
Christmas
the fact
movies.
that I am not always the chooser,
Yeah.
I have to share.
Fonto's all action.
Yeah, he's like, I want to
Like,
watch
is
the
anyone dying in
Avengers.
this movie? I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. The first question is like, is there singing? And I'm like, well, it's Christmas. Of course
I don't
they're
know, man.
singing.
There's only a few movies that I like that have musicals or singing portions. In
Yeah.
it, and the
What
rest I just hate.
What did we
man.
watch the other night? There was no singing.
I just don't like it.
I thought that was good.
I
Can't
don't know
even
what did we
remember.
watch.
There's another new Christmas movie with what's his name? The guy that did Passion of the Christ? Mel Gibson. He plays Santa, but in modern day. And he's like this drunk, like
Ooh,
super
oh.
big. And like it's an action.
Sounds very
Christmas
relatable.
movie.
All right, I
So-
like it.
So maybe it'd
Seen
be
it.
a good one that you
This
guys
will be
gotta
my
check
New
it out.
Year starts with that movie. I would like to put that
For
out there.
real.
I love Christmas movies.
Sounds sick. All right, so based on that, since you love Christmas movies, what movie do you think your state got?
Oh man, I don't know.
Dun, dun,
Oh, I guess
dun.
I'm not super surprised. That's like
The
number
Nightmare Before
Home
Christmas.
Alone
So
is like
Texas
number
got-
1 on our Netflix like pick every freaking day.
Really?
Yeah, it's so annoying. We've already watched it like twice.
New
I'm like,
Mexico
okay,
is The
move on.
Nightmare Before Christmas,
I
which is
love
where
that
we're
movie.
at.
Wait, so what is
That
this? This is
one of
the
my number one.
popularity of.
Yeah, in the state.
Okay.
According,
I'm
I'm
going
pretty
to
sure it's
say-
like according to Netflix or something.
I'm gonna say there's a few on here that I've never seen, so this gives me a lot of hope and excitement for the next few
Christmas
month.
Harmony.
Almost Christmas. You
Die
you have to
Hard.
tell the people you
How
see
is Die
'cause
Hard a
they
Christmas
can't see.
movie?
So
Wait, where do you see Die Hard on where?
It's
I want to act smart, but I don't know any of these things.
Really?
Just-
Okay,
It's
so
the
like
square in the middle.
shout out to South Carolina and the
God.
Polar Express because that's one of my all-time faves.
The Polar
Love
Express.
that.
Edward
Bad
Scissorhands in California. What? It is a Christmas movie. It's
Yeah, I guess it
known.
is. Yeah.
Bad Santa, Nevada, you would. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is North Virginia? South
Where's
Virginia?
the Grinch?
Yeah.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas right here?
That's Kentucky.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
I meant this
for
one.
sure.
I don't know.
I meant the other one.
So it turns out I'm not a
Virginia, Home Alone.
geologist.
Oh man, me
Um,
neither.
It's a
Yeah.
Wonderful Life. I haven't seen a bunch of these.
I haven't seen that in a long time. That'd be a good one to
No,
revisit.
wow.
I also feel like this is like 5 movies. It's not even all
Yeah,
the movies.
Home
it's just
Alone's
like,
like one.
though like
two,
Alaska with
three,
Die Hard is
4.
like different.
That's
Like, all right,
gangster.
that's
And they
cool.
put even a little Santa Claus on
Yeah,
it.
like that's pretty fun.
Bad
Miracle
Santa.
on 34th Street.
I want
Wow,
a
and the
Venice.
original. So I like that like they made it clear like it's the 1947 version. So everyone in Delaware got
It's
a lot of
old
questions
school.
for y'all.
They still got box TVs over there.
Damn.
The Muppet.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
pretty interesting. So Texas comes in at Home Alone. Makes sense.
What's the night before Christmas?
What?
Where's
With
the
Jack?
night? Oh,
At
the
very bottom.
night
It's
in
Hawaii,
Hawaii.
isn't it?
Isn't that night before Christmas, not the nightmare
don't know
before
the night.
Christmas?
The night.
Yeah, I don't know that one either.
Cool. So I just got a list of movies that we're watching. Woo woo.
The night before
Yeah, we
Christmas.
gotta
That
check these
sounds
out.
fun.
Can't wait.
That's pretty
For that
crazy, huh?
movie.
All right, guys. What else?
I feel like Home Alone 2 was trending big on Netflix, so I'm a little upset that made 0.
Home Alone 2?
Yeah.
Dude, after you see the first one, you've seen them all.
Okay, but
That's
like
true.
it's trending.
And also, how terrible are those parents?
I know.
You,
forget
how
about
many
it.
times do you forget your
How
kid?
old is that kid supposed to be in the movie? And his parents left him alone. Because I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
know.
my parents hesitated leaving us alone until I was like probably 18. Like they were
Really?
just like, y'all are not.
Because you were a
mm-mm."
trouble ass maker,
No,
probably.
it's very good.
Dude, my
At
parents
During
both.
the pod.
Our parents worked 2 jobs each, and dude, we would come home alone. Like they would drop us
Yeah.
off the bus stop, we'd walk home, and we'd be alone all the way till like 9. Remember?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I loved that like
That's
3 p.m.
crazy.
to 6:30 before mom and dad got home every day. It was like freedom in the house.
Like
It was
yeah.
great.
I think
Blast
that's why we
the
broke
music.
everything though, because we had all this freedom.
Yeah, you
we
guys
started throwing
probably
balls
did.
in the house. You know,
Yeah.
kids were
Yeah.
flying across the rooms.
Yeah,
and
we knew we had 2
all
or
of a
3
sudden
hours.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did do a thing one fall where we like took all the mattresses from the second story and like padded them underneath the staircase because we had this little balcony
Oh
and
Jesus.
we would jump off. That was dumb.
Damn.
That was
Did
fun.
anyone break anything?
No one broke anything, but
Damn,
there
you
was
must have
this
had good
move with
mattresses.
Laura, I'm pretty sure, where like she hit it and like slid. So then it was like scared everybody. We were like, maybe we should stop. It's like, okay, last jump.
Make it count.
Yeah. Last jump, and then let's like.
See, we couldn't do that. Our mattresses were mats. So if we tried to do it, we
Yeah,
just
you
like
stacked, like,
smack in
4
the
of
floor.
'em.
I think at one point we had just laundry piled up and we'd jump on that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
shoot.
Dude, there was one time we almost got our ass beat because, like we said, we always knew the time, and it was always a war between me, Fonsos, and Hector and Justin. Always, no matter
We,
what.
like pick sides.
Yeah, but there was one time we start like someone threw a cup of water because they got tired of like shut up, like threw the water on him,
Never
and the
a good
other
start.
brother's like, oh yeah. So then he went to the kitchen and he called one of us, and then like he had the sprayer. He's like, Andrew,
Yeah.
wet us down. We're like, oh hell no. So then for some reason I don't even know how we got balloons.
Yeah.
But we
and then,
got balloons.
And then we started putting soap in the water.
Yeah, and they
So
put
then,
hot
like-
sauce in it.
Oh my
So then, like,
gosh.
just
What's
we
wrong
like.
with
I remember
y'all?
our mom called and she's like, "Hey, I'm an hour away, or I'm like
Yeah.
30 minutes away," and then we like just
Noticed
stopped, and there was like an inch of water in the house.
all over the house. There were
And we were
shelves
just
was
like-
full of water. The
Yeah.
everything was just
We're
wet.
all like, "How are we gonna
warped.
do this? We gotta do this
Like,
quick."
how do
Yeah.
you clean that?
Well,
I think we
we're-
grabbed our
everything-
laundry and
Yeah.
like, started throwing the clothes.
Laundry with 4 boys. We literally just used our laundry, all the towels. When my mom came home, that's how
They
they
were
found
all wet,
out.
yeah.
Like, why
Because
is
the
every
towels was
single
done.
towel wet?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you know what's funny? They came in through the door and we had just finished cleaning. Like literally we were just throwing all the wet shit in the dirty laundry. And my mom comes in, she's like, what did you guys do? And we're like, what do you mean? Like everything clean.
And we're like,
Because they
damn,
just
it
wiped
is
it
too
down
clean.
from water.
Yeah,
And
you
we're
gotta
like,
like sprinkle some
damn.
dirt behind
Yeah.
you so it looks normal.
man.
So that's the only
Gosh.
reason they found out.
That's so
But
funny.
that's crazy, huh?
Man, you guys are
We're so
bad.
crazy,
You're
man.
bad kids.
I know.
We were just
But-
bored, man.
Surprised y'all didn't get more coal.
We really did. Well, we did, but we ate it. Made
Yeah.
something out of it.
We made a fire out of it.
Yeah.
I'm just
We
kidding.
learned how to make it into something new.
That's so
What?
funny.
What else comes with New Year's? Resolutions?
Wait, I don't think we let Andrea
Oh,
answer.
yeah.
Mm,
Damn. Way to
mm.
interrupt, Fonson.
Yikes.
Nah, okay. Good
I
job, though.
don't have resolutions, but I still have goals. I'm still setting them all the time. I think this year I just want to take like the next step for things. Like I feel like I'm in the middle of like a bunch of phased processes and like projects that I'm just like kind of lingering with. This
Yeah.
year was just really insane, and I think I let work take priority, and so next year it's like, okay, clearly if you spend 100% of your time focused on that, literally nothing else gets done. So we're gonna need to reprioritize a little bit here and cut back.
And maybe put some more time into other
Yeah,
stuff.
I think I wanted like COVID kind of killed the like charm of weekends for me, so I was
Yeah.
just home a lot more.
True.
And then when I was traveling a lot, coming home was like I need to sleep for 2 days so I can get back on the road again. So I just didn't do a lot. And Sunday Bake went out. For those that don't know,
Yeah.
I used to Instagram every Sunday a full bake. It's like 8 hours of baking.
Oh, yeah. But follow her at
Follow me at Planet Karaoke. We'll post it.
Yeah.
But yeah, still I want to get back into that.
That was cool.
That
I
was
loved
really
it,
fun.
but I also hated it because I would get so hungry.
Yeah,
It looks
Yeah.
so good,
everyone
bro.
used to say that to me.
I
They're
was
like, I like this, but also like, when am I gonna
"Ooh."
get some? You know, they're like, where do I need to go to
Is
pick
there a
some
place to
up?
order?
Yeah, and so at the end of the year, Fonsos watched me do 3 days of like 10 hours, and I
I
baked.
think she did like 100 cookies.
It was well over 100. I shipped out
4
96.
different doughs.
Wow.
Yeah, I did 4 different doughs, shipped out
thinking about it.
96 box. Like it was just crazy. It was
I know.
totally insane.
I've seen some of your
But it was fun.
stories and they look awesome. Well, most of them, all of them, actually.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
trying
a
to
lot
act cool.
of fails.
I'm trying to act cool. I didn't see all of them. But I was all like, oh my god.
I would walk into the kitchen, just
Food porn.
it was chaos, and I was like, no, I'm turning around.
It got really scary.
No,
I
thank you,
definitely
man.
learned a lot. That's why I want the second bowl so bad, because I was doing a lot of dishes, like recycling things in and out, and having to do
Yeah.
like it was just really hard. But I think like it needs to change a little in 2021. I need to
Mhm.
like figure out if it's Sundays, if it's shipping cookies to like my friends and family across the country.
Yeah.
I need to figure out like what I want to do next.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd buy some. We
Like,
would buy some.
It
everyone
was
wants
really
to buy
fun.
some,
I
yeah.
mean, I think we've done like 2 years of like Sunday baking, which is like it's been super fun, very therapeutic. It's also like
Yeah.
I
And you
tell
also
people
do like
that,
not norm like you do like regular like chocolate chip stuff, but you always mixing it up.
I
Like
always
I
do
always
something
see
different.
like
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm always really
They look
testing
delicious,
myself.
though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. I take like the approach of like, okay, I could buy this, or like
I can
what
try
could
to
I
make
like
it.
what can I try
Yeah.
and make?
And for those of
Yeah.
you that don't know, they're like super healthy. So like even though they're cookies and snacks, they're like the best of everything. No
I know, we eat it-
GMOs,
yeah.
fucking.
No, that's super healthy.
good
We just
stuff.
We just like
add-
salad.
We add like veggies to our meals.
That's healthy for me. What is that? What is salad?
Yeah, I don't
Salad?
know. Like
never
people
heard of
always
that.
ask, like it's like the first
it's-
comment I got after like, a couple months of doing this. They were like, someone messaged me on Instagram, was like, I don't understand how you're not like 300 pounds. And I'm like, well, I don't eat it all. Like I'm not eating 48 cookies.
Yeah.
And we also
Like,
like
you know.
we're
in
active
one
too.
sitting.
Yeah, I'm like,
We're
I'm
also
eating
active
4.
too. Like we do our due diligence. It's not
Yeah.
like we just cook and eat and then that's it. Like,
True.
you
I
know
can
what
see you
sit
being that
around.
savage. Like you eat one cookie and you'll do like 30 push-ups.
just like,
Like,
No, I'm
get
like,
out of my
I'm gonna eat like
system.
3 or 4 cookies and like not feel bad about it. But I don't know,
Yeah.
like that's the worst part about COVID for me. Like the Sunday bake was so fun, so therapeutic. But then like Monday mornings, I take it all to work. And
Yeah.
so like it was fun for my coworkers. It got all the food off the kitchen table. Where I was like, I'm not gonna eat this 3-tier cake. Like love it, it's beautiful, but like
Yeah.
we are not going to eat that. So like it needs to go somewhere.
Damn.
So now like the beginning of COVID, I really had to rethink what I was baking and like the size of what I was baking. So it was like me and Fonsos, and I was like, well,
Yeah.
This
And
is
then
gonna
with
be hard to
COVID, have
consume.
you guys had to slow down going to the store? Do you guys get your groceries dropped off? I know it's different.
At
Like,
first, yeah,
at
at
first
first
we
it was
did.
really hard. I remember being very upset. It took forever to find
just
flour.
things were out of stock because people were just
always,
pouring
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
I'm like,
dude. Even
dude,
here, like the
stop,
main stuff, like
it's okay.
salt.
Salt, yeah, yeast was super hard to find.
When people
for a
bought
long
all the
time.
flour, and I'm like, no one's baked. Like, what do you mean? What do you?
Oh my god, I walked
mean,
into the house once like livid, like yelling. I was like, I don't know what all these people are gonna do with all this flour in their house. None of them know how to bake. I was so
Like,
upset.
there's nothing wrong with starting, but at least like be generous and just buy
reasonable.
one. Like you don't need 3 right off the bat.
Was-
Like you're just
yeah.
starting off.
Yeah.
I had
You know what
I
I
had
mean?
so much
Yeah, for
anger
sure.
and like resentment over like these home cooks. Like everyone's like, yeah, I've made bread for 20 years. I'm like, have you? Because I've never seen you buy this at the store.
Or maybe that's the power of your influence. Shit, people are like, damn, she's making it. It looks cool.
I
So
was
then-
just, yeah, it was so frustrating at
power of your
first. But
influence,
yeah,
too.
shout out to all of my friends that helped me get by during this time. My dad mailed me a box
What?
of flour, like
And
inside a
yeast,
box.
too.
Yeah, he
I remember
mailed me
they were
yeast.
out
That's
of
awesome.
yeast for months, man.
Yeah,
Not,
friends
or
friends
us,
all
but
over
also
the country were
grocery
like,
store.
"Hey, I found yeast. Like, do you need some?" And I'm like, "Yes, please send it
Please.
over." Like, sugar was really hard for a while. Yeah, it was so funny. But I
That's
mean,
tough.
like those are things that for me are staples. Most households like probably don't have that. Like
Yeah.
most people probably go through an entire 3-pound bag of flour in like a year, maybe even more.
True.
And I'm going through a 3-pound bag like monthly.
Damn.
So it's like a very different
And not just
thing.
that,
and
she has
so-
like 3 or 4 different types of
Yeah.
flour, like bread flour,
cake flour,
flour.
all-purpose
Yeah,
flour.
that's what I said. I was
There's
like,
a lot of different
There's
flours.
different flours. Like what?
Yeah,
What the
well,
hell?
what was cool because
But-
Fonsos was studying is like then we got to talk about. I was like, well, all the different flours have different protein levels, and that's
Yeah.
what makes
And, like,
your
the chemical
it
reaction.
like changes
and, like,
the
how-
outcome of your
yeah.
bake. Yeah. So
What?
there's like a bunch of science behind it, which I don't fully understand everything.
Yeah, I don't
and-
either, but I tried to.
But as long as it's gross.
Yeah,
It's
no,
working.
watching
It's working,
watching
baby.
like sourdough starter grow is like the coolest process, and I think like it's insanely frustrating. Like I hate it the most. Like I hate bread making. It's just I don't have the patience. It takes 2 days. Like
Because
it
you have
drives
to
me
let it
insane.
grow.
Yeah, you got. There's just so many steps and patience, and I just don't have that. So it's not great for me. It's more of a test of like, can you just make it through the process?
Yeah.
But watching it go from like just like this kind of like mush to like this beautifully bubbly, like so cool.
Bread.
So
I know.
cool.
I've tried a bunch of your bread. It's been awesome. And you always have like, you always don't only just give us your bread. You always have like a platter, like
Yeah,
just
like
this
stuff.
cheese
Yeah.
and a wine. I'm
Goes
like,
above and beyond,
shit. I'm
always.
like,
It's
you get a cup of
fun,
water,
but
right?
that's what
I'm
I
not saying
love.
it's
I
bad.
love to
It's
like
good.
serve the like presentation has always been really fun for me. My mom always comments about it. She gets so irritated and like she already knows. Like when I show up at
You
the
know-
she's she's like, here are all the things. Like
You
You know,
go
I
for
really
it.
had to get used to her doing that because she just like it would take forever. It already takes forever to cook, and then she
Yeah.
preps it, and it takes another forever.
Yeah, and I definitely
And
feel
I'm
you,
like,
bro,
just
because I
let
hate
me
cooking.
Eat
Oh,
it.
and
Yeah.
I'm hungry now.
I remember we
She's
would
like, "No."
finish like
She's all it needs is the
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah,
Exactly.
basically.
He's like, can I just
Oh,
put it in the
sugar.
bowl? I'm like, put it in the bowl.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
She's all, we have one of those? What is
Yo,
that?
Get the special China plate, you motherfucker.
And I'm like, we have one of those? What is that?
And don't forget to picture it.
Yeah,
Take
and
a
I'm
picture
like,
of it.
and then
I need to
she's
put the little
done.
basil.
And I'm like, yes. Oh, no, Snapchat. I'm like, no,
Ah.
Mom.
And then
I
your
just-
your little
Sorry.
crackhead is over there.
Yeah.
I need a cookie.
By the
I
time
need a
she's
cookie.
done, I have a box of pizza. Oh, you're done? I already finished eating. I just kidding.
It's a lot of work.
But
It's
that's cool.
but
it's
it's-
like I have a lot of respect for your podcast setup because I know how hard it is to film.
The prep.
Like
Yeah.
impossible. And I've had like my phone stacked between boxes of flour and like books and like
Holding it
it's
up.
like leaning towards an
Yeah.
angle that I want and I try and click the buttons and I'm like, oh, don't touch it. Like I have
And then
a lot
you
of
click it and
respect.
it goes, You're
Yeah.
like, fuck. You
No,
throw
the
off
whole
the
thing's
angle.
ruined.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I was a
God.
big fan of like reels when they came out because it was 30 seconds. I was like, that's all I could do.
That's
so
all I
like, it's
need.
fine.
What would you say to people that don't like baking or don't like, because me and Fonsos, I think we're in the same boat. I hate it. Or I don't know, maybe I'm speaking for you, but I hate it, man. I hate cooking. I just don't have the patience to get the
hard.
fucking things
Ooh,
out.
I
I'm
can
like,
answer that one.
damn it.
I think you gotta learn the recipes you like, but that are easy.
Yeah,
Both
start easy.
cooking and cleaning, because there's like 1 or 2 recipes that were like complicated that I liked
Yeah.
that I learned, but I never do because it's just too hard. Or
Yeah.
not hard, but it takes too
It
long.
takes a lot of
Too much
time.
time,
Too
yeah.
much either it's like prep, too many dishes. Like you got to like think about the whole process before you
Yeah.
dive in. I think
And then
that's
the
what
house I
frustrates
currently
people.
live in doesn't have a dishwasher.
Oh,
So it's not
you have
like
to do everything
every
by
time I
hand.
think about it, I'm just like,
It's hard.
I'm not even like I would love to, because the only time I use flour, because you're right, it would last me a whole year. But the only time I use flour is when we make our own boneless
Like
wow.
breading.
What is it?
Am I drunk? I can't remember. Brain
The
fart.
tipsy.
No, like the wings, the boneless
Boneless
chicken
wings?
wings. Oh,
Yeah.
duh. Or
Yeah,
the
I
wing.
was
What do you
like-
call them? You know the wings? What do you
We
call
were
them?
thinking
trying
of
to-
something
you're
really
trying to-
complicated. He's like, no, just chicken wings. It's
Yeah,
like,
but
oh, okay.
yeah, that's the only time I use flour and stuff.
Yeah, for
But
breading.
it makes a mess because you like put the egg, fucking throw it on there,
Yeah.
and then you throw it on the fryer, and the fryer's
Think
like,
about it, that's like 3
Yeah.
dishes right there, and you haven't
Yeah,
even
so
done anything.
that's what I learned right
Exactly.
away. Is like
Yeah.
learn recipes that 1 you like, of course, and 2 that are easy to clean up and do. Because
Yeah.
if they're not, I mean, if you have the patience, do it. But if you don't, like me,
Mhm.
then you'll learn it, but you won't do it.
Yeah,
True.
I think it's really discouraging for people when they like look at a recipe online and they're like,
they're
"Oh, that
like,
looks so easy because it was a 30-second video," and then like you break it down, it's like that is not 30
Shit.
seconds.
Because they already have everything chopped.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
like 3 cups of that. And you're like, oh yeah, that's easy. And
Like,
they're like,
that
my finger.
that's like really hard. I think you have to learn to love the process a little bit. For me, there are very few things in our lives that have a starting line and a finish line.
Yeah.
And that's how I think about it, where it's like at the end of this, like you're completely done. Unlike, going to work every day, like it's just this like endless process. Like you're
Yeah.
working on so many things in your life that don't really have distinct finish lines. So if you
Mhm.
think about it like that, it kind of breaks it down a little faster.
Yeah, because you feel like a task is
Yeah.
finally complete.
And I love I think everyone finds satisfaction off of like checking off the box. It's
Yeah.
just like, yes, I've done this.
Done.
And so if you think about your recipe in the same way, it's like like you've prepped it, checked the box, like you already feel instantly good. And you're like, I can
Yeah.
move on to step 2. It's no problem.
True.
But you also have to give yourself time at first. Nothing happens in 30 seconds in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like it's just not realistic
Except
to make
eating.
your whole meal.
Except,
You might be able to
literally.
eat it,
30
right? But like
seconds.
you have to give yourself like time. Like don't expect every dinner to be a 30-minute meal unless that's the only thing you want to cook. But
True.
then like you got to build
Not even
parameters
ramen.
around that,
Not
right?
even ramen
Like,
takes 30 seconds. 3
like,
minutes.
yeah, you got to put effort into like a little bit of research, but I think starting easy is so important. Like Fuentes has mastered a few things that like he does, and he's got little tweaks now, and
Yeah,
like,
his
he
beans.
starts doing
Oh,
things differently.
dude.
But that
You
came
fucked those
from
beans
you
up.
know
Oh man.
what
They're
years
good.
of
In a good
trial
way.
and error.
In a good way.
But yeah, I think you have
True.
to. I think you have to learn to love it. Baking, however, it's a totally different ball game. I don't recommend baking to people because I think it's just upsetting. Like I know I get super frustrated with it. Like God forbid the day the recipe doesn't work, Fonsa sees me next to that trash can, and I'm
You're
just
like,
like,
ah.
I am like, I'm gonna kick the trash
Dude,
can.
one thing I can say about cooking though is that like my girlfriend Destiny, she loves doing it. So like when we do it together, it's like a cool like when we
fun.
make dinner together. Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
date kind of, especially like with
Yeah.
cooking. But it's just like also it's kind of frustrating because she knows how to cook, and so she makes shit look easy, and so like. That kind of frustrates me because I'm
You're
like,
like,
fuck,
how
how
dare
you
you?"
doing
Yeah,
that?
but
She's
they
all
do that
talking to me like this,
silently.
chopping shit, and I'm over here like 1 cup of water. Fucking.
Yeah, you'll get there
She
though.
kills it.
I don't know. It's like a thing you gotta like figure out. I think it just takes time. Baking also is something I've done my entire life.
Yeah.
So it's not something that like just randomly happened. I've just always done it, and then I started seeking out challenge, and I think that's where it changed.
It's like, oh, you add cranberries to
Yeah, I
cooking?
was like, oh wait, I can actually start manipulating things
What?
and like adding different ingredients or changing the way I approach it. My mom always taught us, she was like, look, if you want to eat an entire cake, you can do that. That's not a problem,
Yeah.
but you got to make it. And then it's like,
Ah,
oh shoot, I
man.
don't want to make it. Like, never mind, I don't want cake. I'll just eat ice cream. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, never mind.
Fuck
And then
it.
it's like, no, you got to do it. And it's like, okay. And she kind of like pushed us to bake what we wanted to eat
Yeah.
or like cook or whatever it is. It's like if you really want it and you're like craving that, it's like go for it, give it a shot.
Yeah.
There's
And it'll
some really
taste
simple
better
things.
because you know,
It'll
like,
always
you're all,
taste
yeah,
better.
this is
Always
me.
tastes so good.
It's all me.
Yeah, and start easy. Like I did boxed cakes for probably like 10 years of my life. Like let's be real. Like, when I was in high school, I was definitely not making cakes from scratch. Like
Dude, we used to do it
there's
all the time when we were
there's
younger.
nothing
too.
bad with a cake box. Like
Yeah,
they're fine. They're
That's
good.
easy.
They're easy. Kind of gets you like used to it. They're fun.
Did you know that they used to be a lot simpler back in the day when they first came out? They literally designed it where you just add water to the
Yeah,
flour and
no,
you
my-
make the bread. But
My
because
original
Is that
ones
not how
was
it is anymore?
flour and
well,
an
you
egg.
add eggs now. Well, the reason they
Yeah.
added, they started letting people add their own eggs was because when they first came out, they were so unpopular and people weren't buying them because a lot of people, because they interviewed a lot of people obviously, and the problem with that the people were saying was that it was too easy. They didn't feel like they were baking at all. So
Oh my
then, so they
God.
took out the
What?
dried eggs in the powder, and they're like, okay, well, you add your own eggs.
You add your own. Cracking eggs is fun.
Yeah.
Y'all, I remember I learned how, like, it was like a mission of mine. I remember doing this. I was probably in middle school or something. I
Yeah.
can't really remember. Also, don't remember if my mom was upset after this or not. That part's not clear in my memory, but I have a very clear memory of like learning how to crack an egg with one hand. I had seen it on
Oh, I
TV
still
or
can't do that.
something. There was this like chocolate baking show. I don't know. It was like a whole thing. They used little powders. But like part of it was like a baked good, and like I just remember seeing this guy do it, and I was like, like
How do
you
you
can
do
crack an
that?
egg with one hand.
I can't do that because
Mm-mm.
I blame it on wrestling because
It's
I
crazy.
tend to like just grab things hard and like
Yeah,
I saw
you'll
her
s-
do it and I'm like
Yeah.
cool. Oh,
Yeah, like
Aw.
totally cracked.
You're
Yeah.
just like this.
Yeah, like,
But I
don't let any
definitely
eggshells.
remember. I remember just practicing it one day
It's
in a
like,
bowl, and I was just like, "This is the
shit.
coolest thing." And
That's gangster.
no idea what I made after that. Hopefully, it was a creme brulee. But like, like whoa. But yeah, you have to like practice a little bit. There's tricks. There's so many fun tricks. With
What's your
cooking and
favorite
baking.
cooking show? Do you guys have
the
one?
Great British Bake Off.
Yeah, GBBO,
Is that the one with
Paul
the
Hollywood.
Paul Hollywood.
He's British. They're
Is
all
there a
British.
Chinese
He's
guy?
British,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
Or UK. They're in the
one
UK.
of them is a Chinese guy with glasses?
No.
No.
I forget what video it is, but he always pops up on my Facebook because I love him. He's like a Chinese version of Chef Ramsay.
Oh, I want to know what that is.
It's like Chopped because they like
Okay,
they have
I like Chopped.
they have like
Chopped is-
8
Chopped is good.
they have one plate that they have to make, and then they have 8 chefs, and then each chef at the end brings it up to these 3 guys, and these 3 guys eat it. And one of them He's a Chinese guy. Damn, I feel so
no.
bad I can't shout
Oh,
him out.
man.
But dude, when he eats it, he's like he reminds me also of like a Simon Cowell because he's the
Oh,
asshole of the
yeah,
three. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There's
he's a
always the
tough
good
one.
one.
There's always
He's like a
one.
Paul Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great British Bake Off is definitely our favorite show. Late night, if I'm awake and he's asleep, I'll watch like Top Chef or Chopped. I love
Top Chef.
those.
Oh yeah,
Like
Chopped. Yeah.
I do like the idea of like a competition. I would never enter one. Like that sounds absolutely terrible to me. Like no part of me is like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like no.
Yeah.
I cannot cook anything with 3 hours.
Yeah. Or let
Our
alone they
kitchen
pick
would
your
look crazy.
ingredients.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
surprise
Squid?
ingredients? No.
Bake
I'm
with a
out.
squid.
Yeah, make me a cake with squid ink. I'm like,
What the-
Squid ink?
It's just
a
a
pass
block.
on that. Yeah. But yeah, so like I like cooking shows. I don't actually watch a lot of TV shows though. I watch
Yeah.
a lot of Instagram.
Yeah,
Or,
because
like,
they cut all the
TikTok.
fat out. It's just
Yeah,
like that's why I like what I was saying
fast.
on Facebook. They give me like the when the guy's just an asshole.
Yeah.
He just eats it and he like, and then
Oh
he
my
just walks
God.
back and we're like, I was like,
Yeah.
damn, no.
That like breaks me.
Savage.
Like I don't want to know.
At least provide some constructive feedback.
Yeah,
you know?
like Paul Hollywood will
Jesus.
basically tell
That's
you
the
if it tastes
best.
like rummage.
Rummage.
Yeah.
Rummage. He's like, that's not good.
Rubbish.
And
Take
he'll-
this
But he
rubbish
tells
out
you
my-
why. Like what's cool
Yeah,
about
okay,
Paul
okay.
Hollywood is he knows
breaks it down.
He knows
He
the
just doesn't tell you,
science so
yeah,
well.
you suck.
Yeah.
No,
he
this
will
guy's
tell
like
you.
it reminds me because you know how Chinese people are supposed to be usually harder on people or on their own like
Tiger
their
moms
kids
and stuff. Like
yeah, like they're just harder on their children and that's why they get good grades. I
So
guess.
they're better than us. I'm just kidding.
Obviously, they're taking over the United States, so
Yeah.
that says something.
I think Instagram though is like a crazy place to get lost in that algorithm.
Yeah,
Because
for
like
sure.
I love the baking one, so like that's the only thing that shows up on my feed. But I imagine like that could get really crazy. I used to watch just a bunch of people chopping stuff. I love like
Yeah.
knife skills. I think it's so cool. I don't really have them, so it's more aspirational.
Do you follow that guy that got famous off doing that salt thing? He chops
Yeah,
a
I've
bunch
seen
of
that.
meat
I've
and
seen
shit.
that, yeah.
He just like I don't know if it's cool.
I don't know.
But my
yeah.
stuff is mostly baking, so
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't see a lot of that. It's a lot of
Yeah.
like dough
True.
rising and just I don't know, Cloudy Kitchen. If you watch her, she has great videos. I'm obsessed with her. Anytime, every day that she posts one, I'm like, yeah, that's the first thing I want to watch tonight after work. I'm like, I'm ready. Like her videos are so good.
Dude, what else comes with New Year's stuff? We talked about resolutions. We talked about
I think the new year, while this doesn't sound very positive, is like also like the end of some stuff and that you can kind of like leave behind.
oh shit.
Where it's like, let me just like not bring that with me. It's kind of like that concept
Yeah.
of like leave your drama at the
Yeah.
door. It's like, yeah, just like leave that in
Ah.
2020.
Like,
Like,
what
Well,
do you
maybe
let
that's
go?
why New Year's
Yeah.
resolutions are a thing too. Because yeah, you're right. Because then that's like okay, if I want to lose weight or gain weight, then that means you're letting go of
something.
your back
but yeah,
past.
like,
Like
I
I'm not
think
gonna eat
it's
as
Cool.
much,
So
or I'm gonna eat
on that
more.
note, what do you guys think you'll leave behind?
Ooh, like that question.
Whoa,
That's cool.
curveball. Let's see.
I think if I were to leave something behind in 2020, it would be Corona. I'd leave that shit
You
back
can't.
there.
You can't.
I know.
I don't think you get to
I-
decide that one.
but I can because I technically beat it, so now it's in the past.
There you go.
No, I'm just
there you
kidding.
go.
That's true.
I don't know. I'm
Fair
just kidding.
enough.
That was a joke. I'm not a doctor. I'm fucking.
I'm gonna leave Nala behind. I'm kidding.
Your dogs.
I'm
That's
just
so
kidding.
crazy.
But leave something behind. Damn, I don't know.
Right?
You know what? I think I would leave behind my
it raining?
negativity. No,
No.
it's the air.
Oh, sorry.
Just more. I need more positive. You know.
Leave behind the negativity.
Yeah, I tend to. Well, one, dude, all social medias are. I feel like they're filled with it, and so like I'm always constantly on social media because like when I'm doing this podcast, I try to find like current events. But current events is like, dude, it's like going through the
COVID,
news and you're
yeah.
diving into negative,
That's
like
gotta be like
death,
kind of
death, death,
depressing.
COVID,
Yeah.
death, death,
Oh,
COVID.
yeah, man.
Politics, people, left, right, fighting. I'm like, damn, it kind of sucks, but that's why I was like, I at least found this good one, a popular Christmas movie. It's kind of happy.
Love it.
Yeah, like,
Very
Jesus.
positive.
Yeah.
Love that.
So I would like to live behind negativity, but I know it's almost impossible because with the way algorithms are designed, they're designed to keep feeding you stuff that you are going to click on, and something that you're likely going to click on, comment, and or share is something that pisses you off. Because even stuff that makes people happy or like, oh, dude, that's cool. Like, let's just go back to the baking. Like, I've never retweeted one of those things or liked or commented on it. I love it. I like to watch like him shit on other people or shit on their plates, but I've never liked or commented on it. But the stuff I probably would have is like someone tweeted something. I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. and I like would,
Ooh,
and then so
okay, that's a really interesting. Yeah,
Well, then
like
change
change the approach to
tap
be more
back.
positive. And,
exactly,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That I think that's what if you're saying asking what I want to leave back behind. I think I'm gonna try to
Do that.
comment and like and share more positive stuff that I like
It's like the old blog, like link sharing. I don't know if you guys used to blog back in the
today
the
in the
day.
day.
But
No, yeah, but
yeah,
what do you mean?
link shares was like a really big part of blogging.
Yeah.
Like you'd have a blog post and at the end of it, or every week they'd have this like weekly roundup,
Hmm.
and you would just link to like 10 other people's stuff that you found inspirational or that was cool or that you want to share.
That's
And
cool.
it was like a really big popular thing, and like basically every person that you tagged on that would also then do their 10. And
Wait,
it
on
just,
Tumblr or
this was like Tumblr,
link share
Blogspot.
before Tumblr?
It has to
If
be.
Zanga was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
definitely, yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't really a thing, but I've had heard of it.
Yeah.
You know.
I think Blogspot,
Yeah.
Blogspot, like really started that. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
But also,
just
you
remember that
you
being a
grew
big
up with
thing.
technology, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we would have to skate and bike to our library and or to the
get internet.
university
Gosh,
to
yeah.
get access to a computer.
Oh yeah, no. I've had a computer most of my life. I mean, my dad was an engineer, so I feel
That's
like that just
dope.
like came with,
With it, yeah.
with who he was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've always had a lot of accessibility to the internet, which is like kind of cool.
Of course.
Um,
Because it's like unlimited knowledge at the at the
Yeah.
edge of your fingertips.
You definitely see a lot of the change. Like I very much so remember like seeing the Google homepage kind of like for the first time. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't my default. Like I remember when that wasn't really a thing yet.
Yeah.
And you had to like set it, and like that was really cool. I was like, I'm claiming this as like my home.
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
gonna be my
instead of the
search.
AOL page, which
Yeah.
was never good.
Ever. Like you would
it's
type something in
horribly
and it would like
designed.
bring something else up
So
and like
bad.
Like, what?
And that homepage was just like filled with ads, and like none of it made any sense. Like, yeah, that's
it was
so-
just the highest bidder is what it was. That's
Yeah.
when Google came over. Like they're like, oh, we'll
They just did
give
a
you
good
what you're
job.
searching for
Yeah.
instead of what
got you.
the most companies
Totally.
paying us for.
I remember going from like AOL to like Yahoo being my like homepage. The news was like less. It was like further down, so I feel like I chose it because it was less cluttered.
Yeah.
And then when Google came around, I was like, oh my gosh, just this like blank screen. Great, love that. Done.
And then they did something simple where they would change Google. Like they
Yeah.
would make little pictures
You know
to
what's
the month.
crazy?
It all
I
takes, man, little
know.
things.
So
Right.
one of my friends in high school, his sister is one of those Google designers.
What?
She does
That's
the Google
dope.
Doodle. It's like so
So
cool.
she's an artist?
Yeah.
Cool.
So she
That's
designs
cool.
a lot of those. I remember thinking that was like the coolest thing when we were growing up. I was like, oh my god.
Oh, it
that's
is.
so
Imagine,
awesome.
imagine you. That's like the equivalent of becoming a famous artist back in the like Michelangelo because
Yeah.
everyone's gonna see
Every
it.
single person
Literally,
sees it.
everyone's
It's
gonna see it
crazy.
for that day, and you're like, hey,
You
that
leave
was
your
Yeah.
mark.
That was me.
So
son.
cool. So like stuff like that I think is so like I think that's also what brings your community so close together. It's like you can share that story with someone, then all of a
Yeah.
sudden this like random doodle all of a sudden seems so much more human and like next door kind of thing where you're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, my neighbor could be that person. Right?
Yeah,
It's like
so she just
wow,
did
it's like
it, yeah.
so awesome. The
That's
internet
crazy.
made things feel really small, I
Yeah.
feel like. And
But also
I don't know.
really small, yeah.
Right? Like
Because even famous people back in the day, man, imagine being famous back in the day. That must have been hard as shit. Like, you
Why?
literally had to go city to city, gaining all these
Yeah.
followers, like
Oh.
making sure not only when you're there, you have to be perfect because then you're going to piss a bunch of people off or you either do it good and they're all going to like you. But now it's easier because you can do it all from your home and people do it like this podcast is getting downloaded in Asia by a bunch of people. And it's kind
shout
of
out
crazy.
to Asia. What's
I was
up,
like,
y'all?
yeah, shouts out to you guys. Thank you guys. I think that's crazy.
That's awesome.
And when I looked it up, I was like, how are they even? But the spot that they're downloading a bunch, I guess they just got like smartphones.
Oh,
Oh,
so they're
cool.
just
To
like
where they're at.
exploring. They're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
what
So
is
I don't know
this?
if maybe the gangster part attracted them or not, but either way, they like it. Like they're
Yeah,
like,
something
dude,
caught
this is
their
cool, man.
attention.
So on that note, do you think you're gonna enjoy being a celebrity, or do you think you would enjoy becoming a celebrity if you became one? If you became that
I
big?
think now it's easier to become a celebrity, and I think it was better too because back in the day, you're going and no one knows you, no one respects you. Like as a stand-up comedian, it's like imagine you go on stage and no one's gonna give you respect because they don't know you. So like already people are gonna talk, people are gonna do whatever they want. But now in days, you're only going to a city where you know people follow you. So think of it like
True.
this: there's thousands and thousands
True.
of people in a city. If I know one city, I have 1,500 people. I can throw a show there and pack a room of 500. or 200. That's
Yeah.
that's a lot, but let's just make it smaller. Like
It's
this
like
room.
more of a guarantee that you're gonna get the
Exactly.
audience.
Yeah, and I could get 50 people that know who I am and like me, and they're gonna come, and there's a little bit more. They're gonna be like, "Oh, we're gonna give him a shot." And of course, if I go up there and I
Yeah.
bomb the first two jokes, then I lost all the respect. But if I at least go up there, they're gonna give me the chance instead of like back in the day where you fucking had to earn that shit, or you had to go on radio station be
Crazy.
perfect.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, well, I mean, they know humans. Humans fuck up all the
Yeah.
time, and
But do you think you would enjoy becoming famous because of the podcast?
yeah, I think I'll enjoy it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it'll allow me a way to get, I don't know, to travel, to do other stuff. Like I don't necessarily know if I want to be famous. I think I just do this because I feel, dude, everyone thinks like shit. Everyone's a fucking animal in their head. Everyone's racist. Everyone's sexist. Everyone is all these stuff in their head. The only reason they don't say it out loud is because then you have a filter, right? But I think comedy is a cool thing because you find out a way to say it, what everyone's thinking, but also you're not really a whole asshole because you find a way to say it where it's like right
Where
on
it's
the line,
okay. You're
right
like,
on the line where it's all
everyone's
like,
Makes
accepting
people
it.
laugh. Everyone except they're like, yeah, I know what you're saying.
yeah,
today."
because
Yeah.
you think
You said
that
it
you're
out
thinking
loud.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I also didn't say it like, well, all girls are weak, you know. Like I'm not trying to be that either. I'm just like there's a difference between men and females, and so most jokes are like right in the line where it's like they're saying they're weak, but then at the end of the day, I go home to my wife and she makes me a bitch. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's always like it's like right
Yeah,
there, and that's what I think would be cool about or what I love about comedy and about maybe getting more popularity is that if I go to a different states or cities, then people like don't think like us here either. Like if you go to another city, it's a whole different thing, and
Yeah.
I think just having the opportunity for people to like, if you go do a show, I hope I would get paid to go do it, right? But that to me is like they're paying me to experience their culture. So like I might say a joke that fucking is fire here, but I go do it over there, and they're like,
And you
"Well, we
insult
don't
them. You're like,
agree with
what?
you
Yeah,
at
they don't.
all."
Yeah, they
They're-
don't
But
laugh.
that's like
yeah.
ammo for me because now I know
Their culture.
how more of the world works and how their culture like design. So I think that's what's cool is like I just want to be able to touch and or be part of more cultures than just my own, because I know mine's not perfect and I know I'm as a human not perfect at all, but I think having the ability to go different places and just be me and then have them kind of be like, well, that's not cool, dude, and be like, oh, that's, I think that's cool. It just, I think it'll help me build as a person.
Yeah. I
That's
think
cool.
it's legit.
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Give you some opportunity to like meet new people
yeah,
all the time. Have different visitors, right? You'll do your out of town show too.
exactly.
That'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
If I could add, is that I don't know if I would like to be famous, or it depends how famous, you know? Like I would like to be known in some cities, but I don't want to be like everywhere I fucking go, like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the
So you
guy,
can't
that's
go
the
to the
guy.
grocery store kind of thing.
Yeah, because then at that point, I feel like that's when you get censored, because then like you literally say something and everyone trips and everyone gets super pissed. Or I want to be like enough for people that like me and know me, and then the people that don't really know me, like they don't even ignore me, you know?
So how do you become a celebrity that is able to do that? Like, first person that comes to my head is Joe Rogan. Like, he's able to kind of express who he is.
Yeah.
But how did he get there? Is it because of like he let his audience know who he is, and like, hey, by you coming here and watching or hearing my podcast, you're kind of agreeing to like who I am.
Yeah.
You think
Yeah,
you think
I
that
feel
has
like
to be
he's
part of
super
it?
famous though.
Yeah, he's
like
super
I feel like
famous
if I saw
now.
him walking down the street, I'd recognize him, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
No, yeah, but I guess
How'd he get
the,
there?
The not how to get like how do you build a how do you build a environment where you can speak your mind without, of course you're always gonna get backlash, but not to the point where you get censored completely.
Yeah, I think what helped him is that he started his own podcast and he didn't care what people thought, and he was already in a good place, so like money really didn't affect him. He was doing it because he liked it, and then two, because people already know who he was. Even when he did get backlash, like he wasn't just like, well, fuck you, this is me, you know. Like at first, dude, if you hear his first podcast, I think he has that. They call it a hero's journey, which like every game has, every story has. It's like the hero goes up and he falls and then he
Yeah.
comes up, but I think he was humble enough to like, because when he first started, is he would say the F word, like FAG, right? And so people started hating. I'm like, dude, that's like cool, not
just
cool,
like-
but we understand how you're using it, because he wouldn't use it in a derogatory. Well, I guess he
Way.
would, but people I just remember this being one big thing. People like he got a lot of fans was because he would say it, and then one time like he's just like, you know what, it's probably better if I don't use it. Like, yeah, there's better words I could use. I'm just saying it because like, oh, that guy's a fat, or like, you know, or like he just was showing people that he could change, and that like
Yeah.
again with that hero's journey, like you're showing people that one, you could be wrong. It's okay to be wrong, but don't also be that type to be like, no, I'm not wrong. I'm right. Like I can use whatever word
Yeah.
I have. I freaking America. Like I do whatever I want. But he shows people that he could grow, and that like, because that's not the only word. He's had
Yeah.
other
Other
words that
things
he
that
literally cut out of his vocabulary, and like he found better ways. Like you could say the same thing without saying that word, because
Yeah.
obviously it hurts
I
so
think he
many
shows
people.
like a little bit of empathy too. Like he's not ignorant to like what's happening.
Yeah,
Like he
true.
doesn't pretend it's not a bad thing, which is
Yeah,
nice. So like there's
there's
growth
that. Yeah, yeah.
in there too. Like everyone changes.
So it
He's
sounds
also
like
got like a ton of tenure if you
it,
think about this.
he
Like
Oh
seems
it's
like
yeah.
not like this is new for
he
him.
also
Yeah.
is understanding his audience. That's what it
Yeah.
sounds like.
And like like his audience has grown up with him too. Like it's not the same
Yeah, and I think that's what it
person.
is growing up with your audience, or like your audience growing with you. Because,
Yeah.
dude, life is kind of like that. Like when you're, that's why I like podcasts, because that's what I feel that COVID, not that it was designed in that way, but like covering your mouth and people not wanting to talk to each other, like it's doing is like it's creating a wall that probably is not like probably wouldn't be there normally. And now like with podcasts, like people, dude, I know, and that people have hit me up, and I appreciate you guys and thank you for all the positive words. But they're like, dude, I wish I had this friendship or brotherhood with people in my life, but I don't. Like they don't
Yeah.
have it, and they're glad that they could be part of a conversation with brothers, that they feel like they're like how you're saying that you listen to it, like we're brothers, and you hear us talking, and like we don't
Oh
have the
yeah.
conversation, but
Yeah.
at least you can be a part of it somehow. And they're like, dude, we thank you for that, because like I wish I could have talked to people about that, about saying the F word, about saying do you believe in God or not, like the conversations just that we have, aliens, or just like all this
Yeah.
crazy dumb shit. But they're like, dude, I wish I could say talk to people about that, but when I bring it up, or I bring up my ideology, like people just shit on me, because in the work environment or the place that they're in, and they're just like,
Yeah.
man, thanks that you said it, someone said it, because I
Someone
was
said it,
thinking
yeah.
it. And
You
so
need like an escape. I think that's what's cool about podcasts. Like I listen to so many and some of them like wow, like it's almost like I'm having the conversation, but like I'm
yeah,
not. You know, it's like I'm just
yeah,
a bypass. Like just kind of here,
yeah.
hanging out in my living room, like
Just
listening to
listen
my
in.
podcast. But like it does, I feel like it's a little bit of an outlet. It's like nice when you find the ones that like have like express challenges or like alignments that you have. Like I think
Mhm.
that's really cool. I can't imagine like the number of podcast options you have now, like 15 years ago. Can you imagine how different things would be? Like
Dude,
it's cool that we're here now though,
dude, for
right? I
sure.
think that's really fun.
I think it. I think it's an awesome outlet.
Yeah.
But oh dang, I was gonna say something, but it
It's
slipped my
very
tongue.
creative and like I think it also softens the blow of conversation. Like I don't feel like there's so much stress now when you go if you are in a gathering because there's so much communication now. It's not like you're stepping on eggshells. Like
Yeah.
people are allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah.
And like
come
that's
on.
okay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be the same and
Exactly. Oh, and going back to
that's
Joe
different.
Rogan, I think he does the reason he probably got so popular is because he never picked a side on his podcast. Like he was always like he would
He's
you could hear
open.
his opinion, but he
Yeah.
was also not married to it. So he would like if you would say something, he would also be like, "Oh, you're right. I'll go with that." And he would like it's like improv, right? You yes and you go with it. But then
Yeah.
at the same time, he'll tell you
Like
probably his opinion where he started, but he would never be like, "This is it. This is how you should think." He would just say
Yeah.
like, "A human. This is my opinion, bro. This is where I come from. Like, we don't all come from the same thing." So
Yeah, and I love talking to people like that, and I feel like that's why we're us as brothers were able to have those type of conversations because we don't belittle each other. We just question each other. We challenge
yeah,
each other's beliefs and thoughts,
yep,
and I think that's good. Like, there's nothing wrong with like questioning, what you believe or what you believe in,
yeah,
or what you saw,
yeah,
or or what you
Yeah.
experienced.
exactly.
But it sucks when you try to like share that with other people and they're just like, no, dude, it's because X, Y, and Z. I know because I was there, and I'm like, but you weren't there.
But
So like,
yeah,
how could you really
Yeah.
know?
There's like some respect. There's like a line of respect there, right? It's like especially with like a Joe Rogan, like he has respect towards other people's opinions. Like he is willing to like listen,
yeah,
and then even if he disagrees with it or wants to challenge it, he's like there's always this like acceptance in the conversation of like, you know what, I really appreciate you like like saying that, or like even last night when we were talking, it's like, yeah, it's like, you know what, you make a good point, but like, what about if, and like
This,
you can
yeah,
have like like
This and
you
this
know,
and this.
it's
yeah,
just it's like you have to have respectful conversation with people, which I
yeah.
think has come a long way
Yeah.
in my view. I don't know.
Oh no, for sure. Because back in the day, I feel like it was way worse. Like people didn't even want to have the conversation. They're like,
Yeah.
"I'm right, you're dumb.
Or you'll get
You don't come
disciplined
from
if
where I come from.
Yeah.
You didn't." Yeah.
you're like, what? How
Right?
dare you believe in this? What? Damn,
Yeah,
man.
no,
Like,
it's
I'm
so
sorry
different
for
now.
asking.
So
Yeah.
different. There are so many outlets too. It's almost overwhelming at times, because I do think like a challenge that people face now is like, what medium do I choose? Is it a podcast? Is it video? Is it like Insta? You know, it's like, and some
Yeah.
people are doing everything, which
Yeah. Do it
like
all.
shout
Fuck
out
it.
to them, because like that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's like how you decide that your expression makes the most sense for you.
Yeah.
It's like,
Or you can make, yeah, exactly. But I think everyone should try everything because you never know. Like,
yeah.
dude, I used to hate writing, like in a literature class, I should say. I hate it, but there's a time where I was like writing music, and then I fell in love with it because I was like, well, this is what I would like. I like this is what I say, but I used to hate it because to me I thought there was rules you had to follow. Like this is
Mhm.
how you write a paragraph. This is how you write a research paper. Like I was never taught. Like, dude, if you just woke up and did a journal, like just write down your thoughts. Like I love that. It's cool because like sometimes yeah I write dumb shit and crazy, but at the same time it's like it's my thought, and then like why am I thinking that way? And then you're like breaking down psychology, and now you're like literally
But
expanding the way
maybe
you
because
think.
you know those like literature basics and like composition, it like helps you know like, hey, that won't rhyme, or that won't make sense.
True.
Like I need to add something there or remove something, because
That's
you
true.
know like the foundations, which
Yeah,
are, I'm a big
that is
foundational skills person.
no, that makes
I
so
think
much
it's so
sense.
important.
Yeah, yeah, because that's like what fighting. That's everything.
Yeah, you
Like
have to learn
once
the
you know the
basics.
basics. But the thing that I think that was missing in my education was that they didn't tell me like this is how you shouldn't have to write all the time. They were like this is
Yeah.
what you have to do.
School
It
doesn't
doesn't
do a
make
good job
sense.
telling you, like, by the way, like, you're allowed to not do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can also, like, twist
Yeah.
this and,
One
like,
But
way
it
or
is
the
a
other.
great foundation. You're right, and I think you're starting to see that. Well, I don't know if you guys hang around with any kids, but like now that they're getting taught on these virtual classes, like it doesn't seem that there's like the foundations are sticking as good to these kids because
think?
man, I was really trying to help my girlfriend's little siblings out, but like there's like 7 of them, right? So like not all of them are getting all the attention that they should because dude, you're doing it over virtual class. You walk in on them, they're not even really pay
They're not
attention
paying
to the class. They have
attention.
Oh,
YouTube
man.
open.
Y'all, I can barely pay attention to a 30-minute meeting. I can't imagine being, like, 10 years old having to do
Right?
that. I'm like, oh,
10
my
years
Having
old,
to
God.
sit down.
No
exactly.
way.
And now we were talking to one of our friends
Oh,
that
man.
was here. He's a teacher now, right, for high school. And he's all, bro, you wouldn't believe like it hurts. It sucks as a teacher because like before, like you would be able to like you can see the
You
kids
can
that
see
don't
them.
want to
You
pay
call them
attention. Like,
out.
hey,
Yeah,
fool,
yeah.
read.
Wake
Your
up.
turn to read. And now like these kids are like have it set up where it looks like they're looking, but you just hear
No.
like, hey,
Oh,
you
the
forgot to mute your
worst.
mic, bro. Like you're not paying attention, and like it hurts him because he's like, dude, you know how hard it is for me to try to teach over the thing, but now it's just like you're not even listening. But
Yeah.
going back, I got sidetracked. But going back to the thing is like, yeah, I don't think the foundations are sticking as well. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll be smarter than me. Shit, who knows?
I think right now it's hard because it's we everyone's just learning to be
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
But
And it feels
as we
temporary
progress,
still. I
yeah.
think that's like a key thing, is that it feels temporary.
But
So no one's
I think-
investing in like what
Yeah,
this needs to
like
look
Oh, I
long
like.
term,
see.
I think
Yeah.
like 2-3 years from now, like not everything's gonna be online still, but a majority of things are.
Yeah.
Like for example, like doing training online. That was a thing, but it wasn't as
What
popular.
do you mean training?
Like,
oh, like
like
physical
workout.
training.
Physical
Okay,
training,
okay.
Yeah.
exercising,
Damn, that dog
Uh,
wants to get
I
in.
know.
Yeah.
Can you
It's all
text
good.
Justin and tell him to pull him off the door and like?
Yeah.
But,
It's
but
all good.
anyway,
We're
like
almost-
it's gonna change. It's gonna improve as time
Yeah.
goes. Since this is like the beginning stages of online everything,
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard. And I think as time progresses, we'll like we'll know what to do next. We'll improve on it. So
Sure.
I know right now it's hard, but for teachers, for example, since we're talking about them, the next year it's probably gonna be just slightly more easier because they'll know the
The
tricks,
trick.
True.
the ins and outs of like,
Yeah.
okay, this is how I'm
Clap
gonna
every 15 minutes.
yeah, or like
Listen.
make a loud noise, or have the students stand up. Because I know there's only one teacher that I've had up until this, all the way through college.
Yeah.
That would actually have us stand up in class, and it made the biggest difference for me at least, because I would like be exhausted. It'd be a class that I had at 10 or towards the end of the day,
Yeah.
and by then I'm just tired, and she would just be like, hey, let's stand up, do quick squats,
Stretch.
just something simple, and then I'd be awake again. I'd be
Yeah.
more
Engaged.
yeah, and I think
Don't y'all
that's
remember when I used to teach that safety class at Raging Bull and I'd throw candy at people and
Yeah.
make them
Yeah.
eat? They hated that, but
And
no
that-
one fell asleep in my class.
Nah.
but it's like those little things, and right now,
They
like,
do.
no one really, or I guess not that I know of, but no one really knows what to do right now with online. But I
Yeah.
think people
So
will get
hard.
creative, and
I hope so,
they'll-
man.
they'll
I
figure
really
it
hope
out.
so. I hope we don't go back to, like 100%. Like I really do. Like I think it changed so many people's jobs and lives
Mhm.
that like if you undid that, like I think it takes away a like level of freedom that we've now found, and like that would be almost more disappointing. Like the flexibility of like parents, I think has gone to a whole new level.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
there's just so much more flexibility
And I
right
think
now. Imagine
teachers are
taking
now
that
respected
away.
way
Like,
more.
shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
because then parents had
It's
to
about time.
actually hang out with their kid, and they're like, "Damn,
Like that's a lot of
Like,
work.
you had to do all this.
I don't really
Yeah.
Plus,
like
like
you,
20
little
other kids.
So you talk about 2021, like what resolutions like this world should have. It's like there are some things that we've learned in 2020 we should probably keep, and like a lot of the virtual stuff, while not always ideal, like we should have the option. I think
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
having the option is like really nice, and giving people a little bit of extra freedom and slack. Like you're just sometimes just stuff happens, you
Yeah.
know, and it's like
And
you
maybe
just
kids will
kinda gotta
learn
be flexible.
sooner that like, hey man, like this train life, it doesn't stop, bro.
Yeah.
And whether you want to learn or not, it's up to you. But you're gonna learn real quick that you should probably learn.
Yeah, you need
'Cause
to
it'll
pay
be tough.
attention. And now so critically, because like I think it's harder to catch up if you're remote. Like you don't have your friend next to you to like
to like help you.
tell you
Yeah.
what happened in class
Yeah.
yesterday. Like
Yeah.
that's hard now. Like a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
it's on
tougher.
you, and like building
Yeah.
relationships is a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny because I think about my sister. She had a fully remote job from the start. So she's
Mhm.
been with this company for like 3 years.
Nice.
And she struggled so much at first. She's like, I just don't understand how to like build a relationship with my coworkers
Mhm.
where I can just like talk to them. I'm like, you just gotta practice and just try
Yeah.
and like shoot them a message in the middle of the day. It's just like
Throw a
not
softball.
work related. And then it like really took COVID happening for her to feel like it was like comfortable. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it sucks that it took this long, but I hope that this just like fast forwards everything else. And
Yeah.
like everybody's on the same page now. So you shouldn't feel afraid to like reach out to people or like feel like it's awkward. It's like, hey, it's like 11 a.m. and I haven't had breakfast yet. Like, can I just like eat
And now talk
and like
to you.
talk, like pull my video off and just like have this moment? Like,
Yeah.
is that okay? Or can we push this meeting 20 minutes? Like, just give people time.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you just need some time.
Going back
like,
to that too, like
do it.
having with discussions, I think it builds and it helps you build. Like it's okay to have barriers, you know. Like just like earlier, like it's not like I asked you what do you want or what do you have New Year's resolutions, and you're like, well, I don't feel comfortable sharing that. That's okay. Like you can have a conversation
Yeah.
and someone can build barriers. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to talk about that. It's fine. Like
like,
it's
all right,
okay. All right,
cool.
we'll just let's
Yeah.
talk about what's your favorite porn or I don't know. Fuck, like it's okay to build barriers. Like it's cool.
Yeah.
Like it's not a bad thing, and you shouldn't hate people for
No,
putting
yeah.
their walls.
I
Like
also
it's
think
You
not.
still gotta make fun of them sometimes. though.
For
Like,
sure.
You still gotta got jokes
But
in
also,
there.
I
For
think
sure,
that that's
for
not
sure.
that's not taught in society. What I learned, like there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that I know that just don't know that it's okay to
Say no.
set those barriers. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's,
boundary
like,
setting I feel like
interesting. I'm
became
like,
a
wow.
thing this
Yeah.
year. It's
Yeah.
like more of a thing now.
It is.
Thank God. Like
Yeah.
everyone's talking about it. Like
But bring
It's a
it
good
full
thing.
circle, guys. We're coming to a close, just like the year is, and which is a good thing or bad thing, whatever, man. 2020
It's gonna be
was
good,
a
good.
thing, and
I think
I
it's
mean, it was tough, but it was fun for the people that came along on the ride. And damn, I don't know how to close this.
All right, well, thanks for having us,
I don't know,
Andrew.
it's cheers
Hopefully,
to
we get to do
2021.
yeah,
Like,
cheers to
another
let's
2021
do it.
for sure,
Here we
guys.
go.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Happy New Year.
You
Happy
guys
New
enjoy
Year.
your Christmas and New Year's.
and your start to your goals. Hopefully, you're finishing some goals and
Let's crush it.
stay informal, stay gangster.
Stay gangster, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.